Hi, good afternoon. My name is David Jones. I work at Bucks Country Gardens. I'm a certified arborist and a horticulturist and also a customer service specialist. Thanks for joining me today. I'm here in front of a beautiful black gum tree, and it's a containerized tree, and I'm going to show you how to plant this. Basically what we need to do is we need to dig the hole, double the width of the root ball, and just a little bit slightly shallower than the actual depth of the root ball. And it's really important to get in there, and you want to tease up these roots and expose the root flare on the tree, which I have done here. And the reason you want to have the root flare exposed is because there's feeder roots here. You want to make sure they're going to get oxygen, and you don't want to have soil packed on top of that because it can impact the growth of the tree. You can get insect and fungal issues. The other thing then is you want to make sure that the root ball is well scored all the way around. Go all the way around the tree. Just make sure that those roots are not intact, loosen them up, and then what's going to happen is when that tree comes in contact with the soil, the roots are not going to girdle around the tree, they're going to work their way out. So I'm going to take some bumper crop soil amendment. You want to add no more than 25% of this to the existing soil, and I normally just broadcast this around. Really good stuff. It's got kelp, bone meal, fish meal, peat moss, and we're going to mix this in with the soil. The other thing I like to do also is I like to use some of the Espoma biotone. For a tree this size, I would use about a cup of biotone. This has got mycorrhizae. It's actually going to help the plant, to help to stabilize the plant. It's going to help it to root into the ground quicker. So let's take roughly about a cup of this, and I just kind of eyeball it and just work my way around the ball of the tree. We want to make sure that our tree is straight, and I'm going to start backfilling in with some soil now. This is really nice soil, very, very workable. I'm going to make sure that our tree is straight. And then what you want to do is you want to work your way around the root ball to make sure that the soil is tamped and that there's no air pockets. If there's air pockets there, the tree is not going to root correctly. And then we'll just continue to backfill again with soil. Again, this is a raised bed, so this soil is a little drier than normal garden soil. Then we're going to tamp the soil. Make sure that all the air pockets are gone. Just need a little bit more soil in here. And then what I want to do is I want to try and make a little saucer around the tree. So when we do water it, it's going to hold the water in there. For a tree this size, I'm going to use a gator bag. I'll show you that in a moment. And that will water the tree. For a tree this size, we want to get about 15 to 20 gallons of water around the tree. The root flare is exposed on the tree here. And then we'll make a little saucer around it. Make sure there's no air pockets there. Okay. Then what I like to do is I'm going to put some mulch. And here I'm using a brown mulch. You can basically use any type of mulch. A hardwood mulch is excellent. I normally do 2 to 3 inches. But the key with this is to make sure that the mulch is not touching the stem of the tree. You know, you see mulch piled up around the stem of the tree like a volcano. I'm going to try and avoid that. So 2 to 3 inches, And then I'm going to just pull the mulch away from around the base of the tree because the bark of the tree does not like to be wet. And if you've got mulch against the base of it, it's going to be wet and damp. And the reason we don't want that is because that can harbor insects. Just pull that away. And then these little root hairs here, anyone sticking up, I'm just going to clean those out. So now we're basically going to stake the tree. I like to use these 2-foot stakes, they're hardwood. And then we're also going to use some wire and some garden hose. We'll put a little notch in the stake to hold the wire in place, and then we're going to bring it up onto the tree here. You probably noticed this tree here has got a bamboo pole on it. So I'm actually going to take this off and use the stakes and the wire to support this tree. It will be left on for 1 year, and then once the year is out, then what you can do is you can basically remove the stakes and the wire from the tree. I like to remove the tags on the tree too, so it doesn't cut into the actual stem of the tree. Thank you, James, for your assistance today. I greatly appreciate it. Hey, David. There we go. The other thing too is I don't suggest we do any pruning on this tree for right now. I would wait until probably November or December of this year to do any pruning on this tree. So James is now going to set up three little pieces of hose, garden hose. We're going to run it down here onto the stake. And then the reason we're using the garden hose is so it doesn't cut into the stem of the tree. Perfect. We'll do this for this one, and then we've got the 2 other ones that we will also do that for. And then as far as aftercare with this tree, I had mentioned earlier, you're not going to do any pruning on this tree, any structural pruning, taking out any dead wood or any crossing wood until I would say November or December of 2017. But what's going to be critical is watering. I love using these gator bags. This will hold between 15 and 20 gallons of water. And what you basically want to do is when you're done planting the tree, you want to put the gator bag around the tree and zip it up, and you want to fill it to the top with water. And basically what that's going to do, it's going to water that tree. They've got little holes in the bottom. It'll leave the water out over the course of 5 or 6 hours. Basically the tree, it zips up around the tree, and then you just want to take, you hook up your garden hose, you come along, you fill the top of it, put it in there, fill with water, comes all the way up to the top. Once it's drained out, then what you want to do is you want to take the gator bag off the tree. You do not want to leave the bag on there because what happens is if you get very, very hot weather, the bag can heat up and it can throw a lot of heat in against the stem of the tree, and that can stress the tree out. So I normally take mine off. My suggestion with this is to do this once a week. It's going to depend on weather conditions. If we get a week where we have a lot of rain for 2 weeks in succession, you might not need to water the tree. So I'm going to just take the bag off right now. But this is an easy way to water your tree. All right, so just wanted to show you a different, same application here, but just a different type tree. This was a containerized tree. This is a ball and burlap tree. You're basically going to follow the exact same principle as far as watering, planting, but I just wanted to bring one thing to your attention. When you'll get a tree like this, it's going to have string on top of it. I took the string off. I'm going to peel the burlap back. You're going to be putting this in the hole. It's going to be a big hole, depth of the root ball, and double the width. So you're going to be digging a very large hole. But what's really important with this is a lot of times you can get trees and sometimes they can have a lot of extra soil up around the root flare. So it's important here to just come through with a little trowel, and you basically want to just find where the root flare is, and wherever the root flare is, that's going to be the depth that you're actually going to be planting the tree. So with this tree right now, there's a little bit of extra soil around it. We're just going to remove that from around the flare. Starting to get to some roots here. Normally what I find the easiest thing to do is just take this excess soil and just put it right into a bucket. Or in the other case here, if it's in the lawn, you'd have a torp down there and you could just get the excess soil on the torp. Now you can see here where we're starting to get to roots. I think we're almost at our level here. Yeah, that's your soil level right there because you're starting to hit roots. I'm just going to take a little bit off this side. And the reason we need to check this to make sure you're hitting the root flare level is because there's feeder roots here on top, and if they're buried with soil, the plant's not getting enough oxygen. And over time the tree could decline. At the root level, I think we're good here. So then when you will plant this tree, this level here is going to be flush with the existing soil grade in the garden. This one root here, I just want to take that off so it's not going to dry out. Again, the same principle applies like planting the container, except this is a larger ball. I would also come along when this is going in the hole, just cut off. I would fold this cage back. I would cut the cage down to here, the first ring, and then I would take off all this excess burlap. This burlap over time will rot away. The nice thing with this tree is watering principle again, putting the gator bag around the tree, zipping it up, fill this up, water it once a week unless we have lots of rain. So what I have here is I've got a 3-gallon perennial. It's a grass over dam, lovely variegated foliage. This grass is going to get probably in the region of 4.5 feet tall, has really nice foliage on it. What I normally do with perennials is I will be digging a hole that will be double the width of the pot and basically the depth of the pot. I normally will just take the perennial out of the pot and I will score the root ball. I like this little gadget because it's got serrated edges on it and you can just come along and you can just score the root ball. And the reason we do that is because we want the roots to grow out this way. We don't want them girdling around the plant. So I just score that very, very gently. And then I'm also going to just do the bottom. This plant got lovely white roots in it, so this is going to be absolute beauty when it gets established. And then I normally just fluff up the soil here on top. When I'm planting these, I like to use the Ascoma Biotone. I would use a little bit less than half a cup when I'm planting something this size, and then after it's planted in the ground, you follow the same principles again as what you would do with planting the tree, using the mulch, and then we're going to do a lot less water. For a plant this size, I would be checking this for water probably once a week, once to twice a week, depending on weather conditions, and it would give a plant like this maybe about 3 gallons of water. You don't want to overwater, but you want to make sure it's getting enough water. I like to put my fingers around the top of the root ball just to check the moisture level. And then this guy's going to give you lots of color all the way through the fall. If you want to cut it back, you can. You could leave it go for the winter. Then once the following spring comes, I fertilize all my perennials. I like to use plant tone fertilizer. This guy is great. So we use a balanced organic fertilizer and we'll do an excellent job. For plant this size, I would say about half a cup of plant tone. Okay, what we've got here is a Hydrangea macrophylla. It's a variety called Endless Summer. This is going to have, depending on your soil pH, blue flowers or pink flowers. This is a real nice shrub. I love this. It likes morning sun, afternoon shade. This has got lots of buds on it, ready to get in the ground. So again, with this guy, just take it out of the pot. Just be careful not to damage any of the stems. There we go. So with this guy, same principle again. Just want to use the little guy here and just very gently just work your way around the root ball and also do the bottom of the root ball. This has got lots of white roots on it, which is really good. That means it's a very healthy plant. We're going to dig a hole for this, double the width of the pot and the depth of the pot. When we're going to be planting this, we're going to be following pretty much the same principle again as the perennial, and we're going to be adding about half a cup of the biotone starter fertilizer, and I would add some of the bumper crop, again no more than 25% of that mixed in with the existing soil. And this guy is going to give you lots of color throughout the summer. One little thing, if you've got any dead wood on it, I would just prune out only dead wood on this plant now. Anything that has buds in it, I would leave it go. I wouldn't do any pruning on this plant again until spring of next year. If you needed to, keep the plant in shape, you would just prune out any dead wood or any wood that's rubbing against each other. This branch I probably would take out because it's rubbing in against this other one right now. This guy's got plenty buds coming from the bottom, and this plant will flower this year. Finish up with a layer of mulch, tamp the ground, follow the same principles as with the perennial and the tree, and then watering for something like this. That's a 3-4 gallon pot. I would be checking this plant for water once a week to maybe twice a week. Give it 3 to 4 gallons of water. Again, it's going to also depend on if we get rain, what kind of temperatures we're looking at. Hydrangeas like it a little bit moist, so they don't like to dry out. The other thing I just wanted to touch on very briefly is if you have evergreens, you follow the same principle with them as far as planting. This is an inkberry shamrock holly. This can take full sun. It can also grow in shade. But I just wanted to touch with this plant, once you get into the fall, into the winter time when the weather starts to get really, really cold, evergreens will lose moisture out through the leaves. So what I suggest doing is spraying with this product, Wilt-Proof by Bonide. It puts a waxy coat on the leaves. It actually helps the plant with to stop getting winter burn. It'll help with that, and it also helps to hold the moisture in the leaves so the plant is not going to look burnt once spring comes. You can also use this on Christmas greens, but I like to use it on evergreens. Lastly, with weed control, I like to use preen. What you can do if you want is you can put the preen, after planting your tree, you can put the preen down on the soil first and then apply mulch on top of it afterwards. This works to stop weed seedlings from germinating, and that'll help to keep a nice clean bed around your plants, and it'll stop weed seedlings from germinating.